Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So finally we have some action on these charts. So yes, I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin for our charts. So yes, as you can see, we've broken fully above our resistance zone that we've got going on here. Also have managed to close. Have we not yet quite closed this 4 hour, but yeah, we've managed to trade above and looking like we are going to close this 4 hour above all of these recent lower highs we've got. I say lower highs, all these recent highs we've got here. If we want to draw in a horizontal, we've kind of got this area here, and then this low here as basically the next area to get through. So if we get through this, which we've obviously tagged the very top of it at the moment and then sold off a little bit from that. If we break through and close here, then yeah, the next target is obviously this next area of resistance. So, and it should be pretty easy move straight up there if we are to basically close above here. So yeah, we could obviously have potential more good times to come. If we want to look over at Finance 1.0 to see what is driving this, obviously stock markets have been quite strong, but nothing is incredible, nothing to necessarily write home about. We are kind of in this resistance zone here, tested well up to the top of it, down back in it as well. So yeah, we'll actually shade this in. Basically, if stocks can get over here, then yeah, they should take another that nice leg up, probably to around the 4K, and then we'll have to decide. They'll have to decide what they want to do then. Ultimately, if they break through, they've then got this roughly what will be roughly around $4,100 level, which would be of massive significance in my opinion. If we were to break and close above there, then yeah, I mean, we could see a resolution of the descending broadening wedge, which literally would take us to new all-time highs over time. So yeah, lots of work to do, but at least we're not hovering around the lows at the moment. So yeah, the real action is over here in the dollar index. So yeah, you can see we had this support level to the downside. Well, initially we had this one, which we actually lost, bounced off it a few times, then lost it, took us down to our next level of support, our next important level of support, might I add. And then we did actually break below that pretty convincingly. We're now heading lower. So obviously we've got a horizontal level around here, coinciding with this low there, and then obviously some price action down here. But the next major level of support, you would probably argue, is around this 108 level. So I think if we do close below this base is practically 110 on the dot. If we close below there, then yeah, we should be seeing this. We should be seeing down to these 108s, and then obviously reassessing what happens there. But if that is to happen, that will clearly be quite bullish for risk assets. The 10-year similarly also having a pullback. It is below this trend line we've got to draw it in. However, we have had price action briefly below this trend line. So that is not to say this can't rally back above. But if we do hold below and then hold below for a prolonged period, we could then see people start to look at this trend line as actually broken, and then potentially going to trade lower. Obviously, an important level we've got around here, which funnily enough is 4%. So important level around 4%. I guess it's psychological as well. Break through that 4%. That I think would be breaking close through there. I think is sufficiently far away enough from this trend line to then indicate that we will be having a medium-term move down. So yeah, things could be looking good. Market dynamics are starting to move away a little bit away from the inflationary and towards the deflationary. So obviously that is bearish for bond yields and obviously bullish for the actual bond prices. So yeah, that's what is going on in gold and silver. Gold not doing too much, having a bit of a nice pop up here, similar to what stock markets are doing. And then silver also having a bit of a move up here, above this trend line again, but we were above it before and came back down. We're back up it again. I mean, this is this has got to break above this level, otherwise it's going to look a lot like a head and shoulders, which would have a pretty a pretty aggressive target to the downside, which we will have a look at roughly what that would be. Yeah, down to around the $15 level. So yeah, obviously that is on the cards unless we break above here. If we get rejected anywhere around here, market starts to turn, dollar starts to bounce, we start to come down. Yeah, I mean, we could be looking at we could certainly be looking at lower prices for silver here. What else do we want to look at on here? Oh yes, that is it. Ethereum, the Ethereum Satoshi pairing. Look at that for a move. Absolutely, like, outstanding. Back above this resistance, straight through our old one, straight up to our next one. Then did come and back test the old, well, I say the old one, the next, the one below, and then bounce straight back up into the one above. So yeah, very bullish price action in the short term here. Clearly, in the context of the wider trend, it is well, this is kind of what I've mentioned a few times. Holding this mid-section of this overall sideways range we've been in for a while is pretty important. If you hold the mid-section, accelerate away from it, then you would expect to then come and test the top section. If we had basically broke down, we would have had to expect to come and test the lower end of that section. So this is fully opening up a very aggressive move to the upside. And don't forget, there is the whole less supply of Ethereum on the market now. So obviously, when there is any demand, there is not as much supply. That is not to say that we just have to go up when there's no demand, but that is to say when there is demand, we can move up pretty aggressively, which is what we've seen here. As soon as we got a little bit of demand in for crypto, Ethereum absolutely went nuts relative to Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, this could be the pattern going forwards, which, I mean, just would be incredibly bullish, wouldn't it? Incredibly bullish for the price of the dollar value of Ethereum, even if, like, its market cap is not necessarily increasing by as much as its relative, obviously, individual Ethereum price, because obviously if it is deflationary or there is no supply and Bitcoin is inflationary, I mean, the actual dollar price of Ethereum could obviously outperform the actual market cap if the obviously the number of Ethereum is deflationary, which obviously it has been for the most part since the merge. So if we are then to have a crypto bull market and see demand, then, I mean, certainly gas has to go higher and Ethereum just has to become fully deflationary for a prolonged period of whatever the length of this next bull market is. So yeah, the dollar price as well, as we can see here, ultimately supported by the support, broke above the next level, back tested into it, and then tested up to the next level, which will actually extend along here. So yeah, I mean, if we break through here, we are obviously opening up $1,800. Lots and lots of work to do, though. If just look at it in the context of the trend, it is still a dire downward looking market. Maybe this is going to be a higher low, this little rounded sort of bottom higher low relative to this low, and then yeah, if we take this level out, we then put a high, and then we do actually change the trend. If that is to be, then that clearly is not obviously the worst thing for price action. We'll just extend this out to weekly so we can see obviously weekly low, and then obviously if this is to be a weekly high low and we take out this high, then yeah, we actually have a weekly uptrend. So that would be of pretty significant. Or would be pretty significant. So I mean, that basically just entails closing back above 2,000 in Ethereum. So yeah, all to play for. Bitcoin dominance, we'll have a quick look at that. This is obviously on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, rejected into our resistance, obviously bouncing off our support zone into resistance, and then yeah, if this just come down, then yeah, I mean, there's clearly going to be good things for Ethereum. Don't forget though, this market cap is market cap. It's not necessarily Ethereum price. And what I'm kind of saying, if we do go into a bit of a bull run, then obviously inflation in Ethereum could become quite deflationary, and even though the market cap is doing one thing, the actual Ethereum price in dollars could be outperforming. What else do we want to look at? Yeah, let's look at what's going on in the UK, because obviously it's a pretty important parameter for basically what is going on in the world. It was causing a bit of problems. Obviously this was, but yeah. So this is now fully recovered. This whole move down and back above these high. So yeah, the pound on the back up, and if we look at those gilts as well, here we go. The gilt, you can see the gilt price recovering from these lows somewhat as also. Could this be a bottom? This very much. This is how markets do bottom. You trade lower, people thinking is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? And then bang, bounce, bang, double bottom, back up, take these highs out. I mean, this is how markets do bottom. So yeah, obviously, potentially that has bottom. So what else to look at? Yeah, just have a quick look at oil. Oil not doing too much, just hovering around this area here, $85. I think I did say this is around the area. This is probably about the fair value for oil is somewhere in this area, above this above this support and below this resistance. So yeah, if we are to break above here, I mean obviously China reopening could seriously cause some problems there for the, well, not for the oil bulls. It could obviously send this price a lot higher, but yeah, it wouldn't be ideal. Let's have a quick look at stochastics. We do know the main one that we were talking about previously was that 5-day and weekly that was looking really good, for a decent medium-term bounce. So obviously 4 hour bit extended here, you might imagine. 12 hour is not even that particularly extended actually, if you to be fair. Daily still got juice left in that one, and then by dailies obviously got a lot looking really good here. Lots of room to move, and we're in the bullish zone here. So 2-day looking good, 3-day looking decent as well. That 5-day, which you see turn back up and moving up nicely, similar with the weekly. So I mean, these are the ones that they get going bi-weekly as well, turning back up. They get going and getting a bit of a sort of a move, then we're obviously looking at around 30k Bitcoin at least, if we are to basically get this move up in this 5-day, weekly and bi-weekly. So yeah, a monthly will probably in a couple of months, if we get to mid to high 20,000s, is gonna turn up as well in a couple of ticks. So things could start to look really good. We could obviously be in a recession now. Markets are forward looking, so that recession, if it is not to last that long, markets bottom typically like 3 months before the end of recessions. So if we've been in a recession for a while and we then potentially can be coming out of it in 3 months or less, then that would indicate high likelihood that the bottom in the market is already in. So yeah, was this the move lower? Was it? Are we going to get above back to 4,041? Now that would be the point where I think a lot of risk on would start to occur, if we basically break this trend line. Pretty convincing looking trend line there. Yeah, a lot of work to do before we get there, but hey, it's obviously looking better than it has been the last few days, and we got a bit of volatility back as well. Just one other thing I saw on Twitter I wanted to show you guys. Obviously just a bit of a bear pawn here. You see we had this really nice bounce up here, got basically above this high there, and then fully came down, rejected back down. If we kind of look at what we got going on here, obviously miles away from it at the moment, you can still see this downward sloping trend line. We've probably not really broken through it at all yet, but yeah, if we do break through, trade above, get above this high, and then if we do fail and then come back below that high, could be a pretty obvious signal to just to basically sell everything, and that is at a nice round number of around 2,000 as well, don't forget. So yeah, I mean, I think that will be a very important level. Getting above there, important, significant. Not holding above there would be very significant, but holding above there, obviously the flip side, would be highly significant. And then yeah, I mean, we could be looking onwards and upwards at that point. So yeah, that is it. That Twitter is this trader SZ again, just that you can see. But yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.